All right, everybody, welcome back to Responsibly Rowdy. Today, I've got another review video for you. Obviously, this is the Fire UBF Flamethrower. Kind of speaks for itself. It's just super cool. It's a flamethrower. I mean, you would use this for whatever you would need to burn things with. That's its practical uses. It's bonfires or bush burning, just burning any kind of trash on your land or any kind of foliage. I mean, other than just a need to burn things, this is just a fun toy. It's a flamethrower. I bought it mostly just as a toy. I got it on sale from Palmetto State Armory for about $350. That was the only reason I bought this. Matter of fact, I would never pay full price for this thing. Although I don't regret buying it on the clearance sale. I wouldn't have paid the $1,000 or whatever this costed originally when it was brand new. I couldn't have justified that. But for $350 on clearance sale, I was tempted and persuaded to buy it. And I will say I don't regret it either. I had the money to throw at it, so I would say just on a basis of that, is it worth it or not? If you have the money that you can spend on it that you're not going to be hurting, it's worth it. If you don't have the $350 that you can sacrifice for this and it would hurt you somewhere, it's probably not worth it. But if it's a big enough want for you, that's your decision to make. But without further ado, let's get into it here. So I already gave you the price of it. I got it on sale at Palmetto State Armory once again for $350 on clearance sale. I believe it was like a $700 something like that system, at least at one point, maybe more. But point is, when they dropped the price down that low, that sold me. So getting into this thing here, clearly this is the UBF model, which means it's the under barrel flamethrower. I guess I can go ahead and show you that really quick here. So this right here is a quick detach mount for the handle, and also to mount onto an AR-15 or Picatinny rail platform, like any or most firearms, not any, most firearms have. So that is how easy it is to connect to the system. But as you can see, it's pretty ridiculous and just absolutely yeah. You could never run this in any sort of tactical situation. It would just make your weapon way too heavy and impractical, unless you were literally in the military and you were protected by a unit or something. But if you're trying to use this as a one-man operation, to have a flamethrower on your AR for anything, maybe other than home defense, I mean, which I don't even know why you would use this in a home defense situation. You burn your house down, but it's cool. It's cool as a novelty conversation piece, and just to have as a cool toy. That part is totally neat, and that's part of the reason I bought it. I mean, this is 50% of the reason I bought this flamethrower was because I could mount it to an AR just for fun. But the other 50% of the reason that I bought this was it's a standalone unit, and that's what makes this thing so unique and such a cool option of a flamethrower compared to the other ones. I wasn't even in the market before I found this one, but once I saw this on clearance and compared it to the other ones that were way more expensive, it just called my name, and I ended up buying this thing. But it's just really cool for what it is and the price that they reduced it to. And that's what sold me. But anyway, that's my opinion, and that's why I bought it. So getting into the actual item itself, it's really well made. I was really impressed, honestly, when I bought it. I was kind of suspicious that since they dropped the price, maybe it's just not all that worth it. And I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, it's constructed well. Everything is built with a safety on it. So let's go through that real quick. This thing has got a valve safety at the very front. You have to actually open this in order for the thing to shoot. So just like any other valve, perpendicular to the flow of fluid is cutting it off, and then when it's parallel in line, it's actually on. And you can actually see a little bit of fluid just came out of this. So that's a 50-50 diesel gas mix. You can put pure gasoline in this, but I would not recommend it. It's extremely hot and it burns really, really fast. If you want a longer stream and a little bit slower burn, you're gonna want a 50-50. Honestly, I even do a 60-40, 60% diesel, 40% gasoline. That's a pretty good slower burn, good for actually starting a bonfire or just a controlled burn or anything like that, or really shooting this thing at all. It just makes the fuel last just a little bit longer compared to gasoline, and that's the way I like to shoot it. This right here, this is a modification that I did myself. It's just a little red dot sight that I've got sighted in pretty easy, 20 feet away, real short range. I like to use this as a stock sometimes. Like if I'm trying to aim it right into a burn pit and I don't want to get it anywhere else, it's actually really nice, and you can pinpoint exactly where that's going to go. You can use it like a handle too. I mean, it's whichever way you want to use it, it's kind of nice. You can use it however you want to, and it's comfortable either way. They included this nice little kickstand right here, which is really neat for filling this thing up. You almost have to have it because it would teeter-totter and wobble. But yeah, you can take the cap off, fill that thing up, real easy peasy. I'm really glad they included a kickstand. Otherwise, it would be really miserable trying to fill this thing up. So that's pretty cool how they put that on there. I'm not the biggest fan of the battery and like how big this is up top. I feel like that's what adds a lot of the weight, other than the fuel, like liquid, weighing this thing down in the tank. Obviously, I'm sure they made it as small as they could, but if you could shrink this thing down even more and keep it almost the same fuel container size, it would be a really like possible attachment almost. But yeah, because this thing is so big and so bulky and heavy, it's just impractical as an attachment. But if they could cut this thing in half with the size and the weight, somehow keeping that amount of fuel or close to the same amount, this would be actually a really practical or almost practical thing to use on a weapon. Like almost usable tactically. I mean, still probably would never be, but you see what I'm saying? Like it's not usable tactically as it is. And anyway, I just wanted to kind of touch that again because it is fun, but it's just not practical. So this thing does have a battery container right here. This little door, it's a little thumb screw that you can remove so that if you're running low, you can swap the battery out or throw it on the charger or whatever. I've had pretty good luck with this battery. They seem to be pretty good. I have not run out and I've shot this thing a handful of times. I've charged it fully 2 times. The first time I shot it once and then charged it again just to make sure it was full. And then I proceeded to shoot it probably 5, maybe 6 or 7 tanks actually, since I've charged this thing last. And a tank is only a quarter gallon, so you're getting like probably an honest fuel time of actual fire and shooting is like 20 seconds. If you top that gas off and there's no air left in that tank, you're getting the full 20 seconds of fuel for sure. Do you need all 20 seconds? It depends what you're trying to burn. If you're starting a massive bonfire, yeah, you probably will need all 20 seconds. But if you're just in like a suburb neighborhood and you're trying to start like a tiny little 3, 4, 5 foot diameter circle of a pit, you probably need like 5 seconds, maybe a couple 5-second bursts, half a tank. Like you're not gonna need this backpack that comes with it unless you live out in the country and you're doing controlled burns or you're lighting massive amounts of brush or whatever. So that's the cool part about this is because it's a flamethrower and it shoots fuel, you don't need all that much to get a fire going. But you'll see in these videos that I attach to this that it's not, it's really not, it's not crazy and it's not tame either. Like it's a nice little in-between of a decent flamethrower that actually will set things on fire a decent distance. And also it's tame enough that you're not gonna be like, once you get used to operating this safely and using it, you're not gonna be like nervous to use it. It's relatively tame for what it is. I like it a lot. So anyway, that's pretty much how this thing operates. Let me show you how to turn it on here. So the switch to turn it on is right here, and this is a really good point I wanted to bring up too. So the trigger is a button right here on the bottom. Be careful if you have this thing resting on a table or anything like that, because if you flip this thing on and that trigger's pressed, it's gonna start shooting if that little valve is not cut off and the flow is not, disrupted. Just be very careful of that. So I would, number one, always keep this valve closed when you have this thing. That's gonna save you from an accidental discharge, because this thing is just as dangerous as a firearm. You do need to treat it like that. Not like it'll shoot a projectile, but it could burn you or anybody around you or your house or wherever you are. So you just need to treat it with the same safety as a firearm, clearly. But I just wanted to mention that for anybody that may need that to be said. But yeah, I mean, it's a really simple design. I'm a huge fan. I just wanted to share it with everybody and get everybody a chance to look at it. I added a little bit of a Sharpie yellow to this just to make it more of a authentic flammable liquid combustible. I thought it would add a little bit of a cool aesthetic to it. That was the customization. I also bent the bottom of this down. I wanted it to be more like shaped away, and if it drips down now, it'll be a little bit pointed more away, or if the flame somehow bursts, it's not gonna go straight down. It'll at least be pointed somewhat away from the device and me. But that's just, I get OCD with how I like customizing things. Like I put a red dot sight on this thing, for Christ's sake. I mean, that's just who I am. You'll see in all my videos, and I'm sure in the future, just the way I like to customize things. Matter of fact, I have a motorcycle I'm putting a review video up, or just kind of a showcase video coming soon, so we'll see that. But yeah, this was the Fire UBF Flamethrower review. I hope you like it. Feel free to drop any comments or questions down below. I'll try to answer them best I can. But pretty cool package. I bought this. This is not sent to me or anything. I paid my money for this. And I wanted to put a review out there just to show everybody how it is and my little customization of what I've done with this thing. But yeah, those are my thoughts and opinions on the Fire UBF Flamethrower. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and have a good rest of your day. Stay rowdy.
Hit that. Do you have to stand far? That. Oh my God. Dude. All right, I'm ready. Hit it. Look at all the fucking smoke, bro.
kill it. Get it again. Get the boxes.
What boxes?
Yeah, exactly.
It's out.
Yeah. Keep going. All right, it's dead.